Good morning, all of you. Today's class we are going to discuss about 19/5/2000 today's date. In today's class we are going to discuss about equipotential surfaces. So the concept is equipotential surface. So what is equipotential surface? The name itself says the surface having same potential. Equi means same, the surface having same potential. So how can we see this meaning? That is, you have to take a charge, consider a charge, and the potential due to this charge at a distance of r, at a point which is at a distance r, it is given by the formula V is equal to kq by r. Kq by r. So this r will not say the point is in which direction. Suppose you have to take any points at a distance of r from this charge, so it will form a surface. It will form a surface whose radius is r. Whose radius is r. So like this you will get a circular surface or spherical surface, three-dimensional. Imagine the charge is in the center of the sphere, and on the surface of the sphere the distance of the any point from the center is same, so it is a spherical surface. So on the surface, if you consider 2 points, for example A and B, these 2 points are at same potential because the distance from the charge to this point is constant. Now we can say that this is a equipotential surface. So by seeing this relation we can say potential at A, VA, potential at A is equal to potential at B. Potential at B, because both are at the same distance. Because both are at the same distance. So this surface we call it as equipotential surface. It is equipotential surface. So what is the use of this equipotential surface? So we can see these consequences. For example, you have taken a charge Q0 and it is moved from point A to point B. It is moved from point A to point B or along this surface. So then what happens? What is the work done? So suppose you want to calculate the work done. Work done is nothing but equal to change in potential difference multiplied by charge. Or you get this result from delta V is equal to work done by charge, if you remember, or change in potential energy of the system per unit charge. So all these definitions are same. So W is equal to delta V into Q0. Suppose you are moving this charge from A to B, the potential difference is 0. So the work done is equal to 0 into Q0. So the work done is 0. So for this we can see the practical example. That is, we have taken a nucleus, that is positive charges are in the nucleus and electrons are revolving around the nucleus. So what is the work done in moving the electron in a circular orbit around the nucleus? It is 0 because this surface is equipotential surface. So normally we will take this as circular orbits, but in practical they are elliptical, so there will be a slight difference. But here if you consider the circular orbits, almost the work done will be equal to 0. Now second condition is, what is the relation for this lines of force? Suppose you have taken a charge, so the lines of force will start from the charge and they are moving away from the charge, or they are moving toward the charge, depending on whether it is a positive charge or negative charge. How these lines of force and this equipotential surface are related. So for this I will use the same concept and try to make you understand what is the relation. So if I consider these 2 points A and B, and let us suppose the charge Q0 is displaced from to here to here, the displacement is dr. So this charge is moving in the electric field of Q. So what is the force experienced by this charge? So the work done is equal to force F bar dot dr bar. So already we have seen that to move the charge from A to B, the work done is 0. So what is the relation between f bar and dr bar. So wherever the dot product of two vectors is 0, we can say that f bar is perpendicular to dr bar. What is the electric force experienced by this charge? So in the field of q, which is nothing but E, the charge is q naught. E is perpendicular to dr bar. E is perpendicular to dr bar. So this electric field direction, the direction of electric field is along the electric line of force. Suppose you have taken this charge, this is like this. So at this point the equipotential surface is normal. Again, if you go to another point, so again you take the electric line of force. Again this point it is normal. So these are the angles between electric field lines, electric lines of force and the equipotential surfaces. So like this we can say that equipotential surfaces. So the conclusion we are going to conclude is equipotential surface is perpendicular to the electric line of force. Already we have seen that there are two types of electric fields. One is uniform and second one is non-uniform. In uniform electric field, so the lines of force are equidistant parallel lines. The lines of force are equidistant parallel lines. Now if you consider the equipotential surfaces, they are perpendicular to these lines and and here we can able to consider. So you are moving from one equipotential surface to another equipotential surface. Let us consider this is V1 and this is V2 and this is V3, and the lines are having a distance of delta x. In the next topic now which we are going to derive a relation between this electric field intensity and potential difference. So perpendicular to this, like this you can consider any of the charges. For all these charges we can say that the lines of force are equipotential surface. For example, if we consider the point charge, the equipotential surfaces are concentric spheres. So here we have drawn one sphere. Let us consider another distance. So this is a sphere. So like this you can draw any number of concentric spheres. The center is at the charge and the sphere is having a radius which is equal to the distance of the charge from the center, distance of the point from the center. So like this we are going to get equipotential surfaces. So in equipotential surfaces, using this concept we can derive one more relation. So that is what is the relation between electric field intensity and potential difference electric field intensity and potential difference, that is we call it as gradient. I will also explain it what is gradient. So for example, you consider a charge q and you consider along a straight line say at a distance of r. So you consider 2 points A and B. So these 2 points are separated by a distance of very small displacement dx, and the point A is at a distance of x. So if it is positive charge, the direction of electric field is along this direction, that is you can take it as positive x-axis, and you want to move a unit charge from B to A, and you want to move a unit charge from B to A. So what we can write, work done in moving the charge from B to A, so this is equal to force multiplied by displacement. What is force? Electric field intensity at this point, E bar multiplied by Q naught into dr bar. So what is the work done per unit charge? Work done per unit charge by Q naught is equal to E into dr bar. So what is this work done per unit charge? We call it as potential difference, delta VBA is equal to E. So here we are moving the charge in the opposite direction, we take it as minus. So the force and displacement are opposite direction, you take it as minus. So you take it as minus. So then we can consider this delta VBA into dr bar, or you can write this as dV, change in potential difference. Delta V can be written as dV, which is nothing but equal to minus E into dr, or E is equal to minus dV by dr. E is equal to minus dV by dr. So this is called dV by dr. Dr means with respect to distance. So if I take it as along x-axis only, I will write dV by dx. So I can write Ex is equal to minus dV by dx. So the point has been changed from x2 to x1. Point A to point B to point A. It has been changed from x2 to x1. So like this you can write Ex is equal to minus dV by dr. Minus dV by dr. Now this is one important application. So this dV by dx means any physical quantity which changes with the distance. We call this term as d by dx of something. Some physical quantity is called as gradient. This is called as gradient. This is called as gradient. So here potential is changing, we call it as potential gradient. And negative means opposite. Suppose you are going from here to here. What is the direction of electric field? This is a vector quantity. V is a scalar quantity. So the direction of vector quantity is along the direction of opposite to increment in potential, electric potential. So you are going from B to A, the work done is increased. B to A, the work done is increased, and the potential also increases. Potential at A is greater than potential at B. So the direction of electric field is opposite to the direction of increment in potential with respect to distance. So that is the meaning of this equation. So here also we can see many examples. So for example, you take it as V is equal to 2x square. For example, you consider what is the electric field intensity. E is equal to minus, actually in the place of D I will write it as dou. Dou means partial derivative. Dou by dou x is nothing but partial derivative. Partial derivative. I will explain this. How can you take partial derivative? Here only x square term is there. Dou v by dou x. So you can write dou by dou x of just normal derivative you can take. So here 2 into 2, 4x, minus 4x is the answer. For example, here if you add 2x square y, so I am considering this as a second example, not first example. V is equal to 2x square is 1. If you consider 2x square y, what you have to take? E is equal to minus dou by dou x of 2x square y. So now you take y as constant. Don't take it as a derivative of this as 0. Now you keep this variable aside and you simply write minus 4x square and again you write y. Suppose you are derivating with this, the same with y component also. This will have both y and x components. Suppose you take dou by dou y of, again you write 2x square y. You write 2x square constant and you can write minus of dou by dou y of y multiplied by 2x square. Dou y by dou y is 1. So I can write minus 2x square will be y component. Minus 2x square will be y component. So like this you are going to get. Suppose if you want to write E bar is equal to Ex I cap plus Ey j cap. Ey j cap. So in the second problem what you can write minus 4x square y I cap minus 2x square j cap. So like this we can solve some problems. And there is one more relation for the same concept, that is already we have seen E is equal to minus dV by dr. For our convenience you take it as only x component. So if I write dV, it is equal to minus E dx. That is, if you know E is a function of E is equal to E is a function of x, y, z or x, then you have to find potential difference. So integral dV a to b is equal to minus integral E dx. So like this using this relation also we can find some relations. That is, we are going to get potential difference VB minus VA. VB minus VA is equal to integral minus E dx, or if it is x component, y component and z component, you can take 3 components also. So this is regarding this one. In the classwork notebook I have taken simple examples to explain to you so that you can easily understand. If any doubts are there you can ask me, otherwise you can solve the problems with the help of those concepts. Thank you.